Nija Nunga Buja. My name's Kai. I'm a white fella. I don't come from this area. I'm from up north, but I call this place home. I'm grateful for the chance to speak today. I'm sure Dr. Chris Owen would have had some wonderful things to say about the dark history, or I'm sure he would have put it well. I wrote this speech last night, so I'm going to read from it because I haven't really memorised it as yet. As a younger man, I felt the need to better understand our place here in Australia and how we as a population connect and communicate. So I decided to study anthropology at UWA, and that's the study of human societies and their culture. And so I joined a long list of white men to ponder and speculate upon others. And what I found, whilst reading the old texts that guided my colonial forefathers, was that there was no Aboriginal voices. There was no Indigenous texts that spoke of their feelings towards the strange new people that had come to this land. The only voice I heard was ones that came from people who looked exactly like me. Voices said terra nullius. Voices said dying race. Voices said the noble savage. These voices were considered truth at the time. Truth has been something that I've found in life to be subjective, meaning that it depends on who you're talking to as to what truth you may hear. It is unfortunate we cannot hear the voices of the elders past, but through the voices of those elders present and emerging, we are now starting to hear the truth. This Nulla Kanani Wangani project is a strong start to help that healing and to deal with the trauma caused by the hurtful and destructive way this country was colonised. Trauma is something that can be intergenerational, meaning that deeply distressing and disturbing events that happened to a person generations ago can have physical and psychological effects today. For example, the distress that a woman experienced 3 generations ago can be physically echoed in her granddaughter today. It is vital that we acknowledge this hurt, trauma, distress and sadness that exists in a world where what we are taught and what we read or hear does not always match our lived experiences. For true healing to take place, truth needs to be told. The work that NCAC and the Shire have done here is a wonderful first step towards this truth. I'd like to finish by recalling a conversation I had recently here in town with an older white fella who grew up on the farms around here. A nice guy who gives back to the community and helps others. We were talking about the news on TV that previous night, where there are 3 separate violent incidences that involved Aboriginal people as the aggressors. The man asked me, "What's wrong with these people?" I paused for a moment and I thought about talking about the social determinants of health and about the intergenerational effects of trauma, coupled with the implicit biases and racisms. And I said, "I don't know." And I walked away. At the time, it was the easy thing to do. While we can't change history, we hope that from today on, we can all learn more about the area we all live in and have the courage to speak truth. Truth telling is something we can all do, no matter how hard. Thank you.